This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois. As we start things off this evening, a public hearing that's focused on proposed increases and protections for Maine lobster is wrapping up right now in Ellsworth. Our Beth Jones joins us now live from Ellsworth with more. Beth, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Pete. We are here in the Ellsworth High School cafeteria where that public meeting wrapped up just a few minutes ago regarding this newest issue that the Maine lobstermen and women could now be facing. Now, this has to do with potentially setting new standards and limits on both the minimum size and the maximum size of lobster that Maine lobstermen and women are allowed to catch versus what they would be obligated to throw back. The idea here is that they would now be throwing back even more lobster than what they already do, impacting their catch. Now, this has been actually brewing for a while now, at least a couple of years, but because of all the controversy over the new rules meant to protect North Atlantic right whales, this issue of lobster size changes was actually tabled for at least 2 years. Well, now it's back on the table, and Maine lobstermen and women have now something new they need to potentially worry about. Now, the concern comes from the Department of Marine Resources as well as the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission. The concern is over the possible diminishing of the lobster spawning stock, meaning reproducing lobsters, and the potential that that population is going down due to fishing. Now, needless to say, lobster men and women had plenty to say on this issue. They are worried about their livelihoods and what these size changes could mean for them, and they were not shy about expressing that concern.
I've been doing this, and I want my kids to be able to do this. This is what upsets me, and it's going downhill. Downhill. I mean, this has been a good chance to make a good, honest living, and no one cares. I just wish that people actually would listen to what we have to say and how we actually feel.
All right, well, coming up a little bit later in the show, we're actually going to have a live conversation with the Maine Lobster Union Executive Director, Virginia Olson. She's going to shed a little more light on what exactly is going on here, as well as a bit more detail on the options that Maine lobstermen and women have in terms of approaching these potential new size standards. For now, we're going to send it back to you in the studio, Pete.
All right, Beth, thanks so much. Meanwhile, fire crews are still on scene in Smithfield at this hour after a mid-afternoon fire that spread quickly on North Pond. Take a look at these images that are coming into us from former firefighter Pete Pelletier there on your screen now. Pelletier tells us that 3 cabins are considered total losses. Windy conditions caused the flames to spread quickly, forcing firefighters to take a defensive approach in order to save other camps nearby. At least 10 departments responded to the mutual aid call on Yvonne Lane, which is off North Shore Drive in Smithfield. We are told the fire is under control at this time, and we'll bring you any updates as we get them. Maine communities are mourning the loss of a beloved public official. Our David Ledford has their story.
From the police department to the fire department to the ambulance, I've spoken with all of them, and they're pretty upset. You know, it was a shock.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office notified the public Wednesday of the passing of Penobscot County Jail Administrator Captain Nick Hardwick. Some of those who knew him best say that Hardwick impacted both the Southwest Harbor and Greater Bangor communities throughout his career and personal life.
The way I feel is I feel a big loss, and a person like Nick is hard to replace. He's done tremendous work for us.
In a statement from the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Troy Morton and Chief Deputy John Knapp looked back on Hardwick's life of service. Captain Hardwick's infectious laugh and caring personality had a tremendous impact on those he worked with, the inmate population, and the citizens he encountered. While Nick's commitment to his service was important, nothing compared to the love he shared for his family. Above all, Hardwick's friends say that he spread joy to those around him, including his loving family.
He was definitely a family man, loved his wife and his children. As a matter of fact, they were on vacation when he passed with the family, so it's really a sad thing.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office asks that everyone be respectful of the family's privacy during this time. In Southwest Harbor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news tonight, the man who allegedly robbed the Goodwill store in Waterville last fall has been arrested. Waterville's interim police chief William Bonney says officers searched the home of Kevin Barr and arrested him on Wednesday. At the time of his arrest, Barr was in possession of fentanyl powder. The Goodwill store located on the concourse in Waterville was robbed in November by an armed man who fled on foot. Bonney says evidence was collected and Kevin Barr became a suspect in the case. Barr's arraignment is scheduled for May 8th. His bail set at $10,000 cash. An accident on Route 1A has sent one man to the hospital. According to Holden Police Detective Sergeant Andrew Whitehouse, Holden Police responded to a two-vehicle crash on Route 1A around 10 a.m. this morning. Both drivers in the crash did sustain minor injuries. One was sent to the hospital for further screening. Whitehouse says Holden Police received multiple erratic driving complaints about one of the vehicles involved shortly before the crash.
The suspect vehicle was all over the road, traveling down the center lane, and then shortly after that we got the report of the crash.
Both vehicles were towed away from the scene. Whitehouse says Holden Police suspect that impaired driving may have been a factor in that crash. Meanwhile, a handful of motorists in Maine are appealing to keep their custom license plates after the state cracked down on naughty words, including unabbreviated expletives. So far, the state has rejected all appeals, including that of a vegan motorist's license plate that incorporated the words love and tofu. Until recently, Maine had virtually no limits on what the plates could say, allowing profanities and sexual vulgarity to be on display. After complaints, the state is reestablishing a review process and has recalled more than 200 plates. A state official says she's happy most motorists have relinquished their objectionable license plates without a fight. A Maine school system has decided to keep certain books in its library despite some parents' disapproval. After a heated debate, the RSU 24 Board of Directors voted Tuesday to keep two books in their Charles M. Sumner Learning Campus library. The books, Genderqueer, a Memoir, and Queer, the Ultimate Guide for LGBTQ Teens, have drawn criticism for sexual content. One board member shared his explanation for the decision.
To me, the value of these works to the LGBTQ community in our schools and those that wish to better understand the struggles of that community outweighs that potential negative impact of the controversial sections.
After public comment focused on whether the books were appropriate for middle schoolers, the board members ultimately decided to keep both books in the high school section of the library. Members stressed that library content is not part of the regular curriculum, but an option, rather, for readers to supplement their learning. Community members were invited to participate in a public community workshop for the past 2 days to discuss how to revitalize Bangor through outdoor recreation. This comes after the city was selected last spring to receive financial assistance through the Recreation Economy for Rural Communities program. State, federal, and local organizers came together at Husson University's Alfond Hall to develop an action plan on how to improve, connect, and promote outdoor recreation in Bangor. Senior planner Amanda Ponce, who was hired by the city to help facilitate the workshop, says she's happy to be working with the Bangor community.
This is an amazing community, and we've been able to see all the amazing assets that exist around here, and I think Bangor is in a really unique position to be able to leverage all of those assets for economic revitalization and quality of life, and really is trying to attract more people to come and live and work and visit Bangor in the coming years.
And Lauren Coombs, who's senior policy analyst for the EPA Office of Community Revitalization, say participants thought of unique ideas that include trail connections, more signage, and a boat launch area. More than 300 high school students from the greater Ellsworth area learned how to budget financially while having a little bit of fun. Our Matthew Jurancic has more.
They say money rules the world, but in order to gain wealth, you need to learn how to save what you earn. That's what high school students in the Ellsworth region did Thursday during the Maine Credit Union League's Financial Fitness Fair at Hancock County Technical Center. Students were asked to pick a career path with an estimated monthly income, making decisions on expenses they'll see after graduation.
To see our students have this opportunity to work on real life skills, things that they're going to have to know how to do when there's really no playbook for this. Just kind of neat to be able to see that.
Students were given a budget sheet where they had to budget for transportation, food, and housing while staying in the green financially.
By the end of the financial fitness fair, students took the time to see whether they were above or below budget, but it's the lessons that they learned from this that made this experience worthwhile.
It's been very eye-opening. A lot of kids nowadays don't understand how important it is to know how to live the real world, because it's definitely not easy. As an 18-year-old, it's been very hard because I got my first credit card, and this was actually super helpful with understanding how to start budgeting myself.
Maine Credit Union League's Financial Literacy Outreach Coordinator Jake Holmes says this experience has helped more than 70,000 Maine students plan for their future since 2004.
That's that critical thinking. They have to go back, and maybe they end up choosing that used compact car instead. The wheels are turning. It's just an insightful, educational, and even fun experience for the students.
In Ellsworth, Matthew Juroncic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, as we turn our attention to the outdoors, another fair and just mild day out there. Nothing to complain about really weather-wise, but we're going to take a pause now and take a first look at what's coming our way.
Thank you so much, Peter. Our first weather is brought to you by Saliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest rug cleaning destination for over 70 years. Okay, what a nice day out there again today. Temperatures were at around 41 degrees above average. Same thing in Bar Harbor, even up north, Millinocket with a lot more snow. They were in the 40s. So wow, another nice and mild day. We did have a couple of sprinkles and some flurries early on. No accumulations like expected. This is starting to wind down and really taper off in the area. So we are finally starting to look much better. We just have some overcast conditions. It is a bit breezy out there though. 12-mile-an-hour sustained winds here in town. Not much by the coast, so that's why we don't have any watches or advisories out by the coast. No small craft advisories as well. Waterville is coming in with around 14-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Gusts close to 20 to 25. It's not a big issue there, especially with those temperatures in the 40s. Tonight, though, things will continue to refreeze, so be careful by those morning hours tomorrow. Peter?
Alrighty, Conrad, thanks so much. And coming up, Beth Jones will join us again from Ellsworth in the aftermath of that public hearing focused on Maine lobster protections. Stay with us.
Gambling took so much away from me. I lost money, friends, so much loss I knew I could never get it all back. But thanks to recovery, I did get back the things that matter most.
Get ready. The Orange Event at Ashley is coming soon. For 3 days only, shop in-store or online for the biggest event of the year. Or shop now with financing options for every budget. The Orange Event is happening March 10th through the 12th. Only at America's #1 furniture and mattress store, Ashley.
If you're waiting for a sign that it's time to finally tackle that window project, here it is. Renewal by Anderson's incredible window replacement days. Get all the benefits of Renewal by Anderson's exclusive and easy replacement window process. And save a lot of money while you're at it. An immediate design consultation, exclusive Fibrix composite material windows, and precise installation by highly trained certified master installers. You get it all during Renewal by Anderson's window replacement days. Call Renewal by Anderson today and take advantage of this limited time offer and special financing.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
Comfort Shoes and More will make winter easier. Next Grip men's and ladies' boots feature cutting-edge technology to make walkways a breeze. Corkers are made with interchangeable soles to conquer the roughest winter conditions. Navitec with the flip it and clip it spikes make you confident no matter what the conditions are. Bruce McDonald's trained podorthist will make sure the fit is perfect for you. See why thousands of people have trusted Comfort Shoes and More for all of their footwear. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport. This isn't your parents' photo booth. Premier Limousine and DJ present the latest in photo booth technology, the Magic Mirror Air Booth. We offer unlimited prints of beautiful 4x6 full-color photos and unlimited photos sent directly to your phone. The new Magic Mirror Air Booth is available for proms, weddings, birthdays, class reunions, and corporate events with one of the largest selection of props available. You can book the Magic Mirror Air Booth and DJ services separately or take advantage of our very popular package deal. Contact us at Premier Limousine and DJ.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. We turn again now to that public hearing in Ellsworth that was focused on expanded protections for the Gulf of Maine's lobster fishery. Beth Jones joins us again live.
All right, so we are back here live in the Ellsworth High School cafeteria following that public meeting with Maine Lobster and Union Executive Director Virginia Olson. Thank you so much for hanging out, staying a little extra, and being willing to speak with us this evening.
Thanks for having me.
So, gosh, here we are again. You know, you think you have a moment to breathe because of the omnibus spending bill and that 5-6 year pause on the whale rules, and now here comes this other thing that was sort of hiding in the wings while all of that was going on. So just a tough night for Maine lobstermen and women.
Yes, as you heard, many people were very upset about the proposed changes that we're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few different options.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at a status quo. They're talking about having some changes that would do with the size of our small measure. So
Mm-hmm.
we'd be looking at keeping a larger lobster,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're looking at doing some standardization across for all of the lobster management areas.
Mm-hmm.
So our large gauge would be standardized through all areas.
So there's a lot of, not wiggle room right now, but all of the options are on the table, and that's sort of what's being debated now. How do you come to agreement on whether you make a change, or if you're going to make a change, how does that happen? But it is impactful because now this increases the amount of lobsters that you all, in theory, would have to throw back because of this new size standardization.
Correct. And there's a few different options on the table, like would we make a small change now? Would we do a few different gauge changes and then change the size of the vents in our trap? Those escape vents are how lobsters get out that are smaller. And do that on a change with a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So we would hit a certain spot and it would activate the trigger.
In the population. So
Correct.
You hit a certain population point that's worrisome, and now we have
a trigger.
Okay.
Now we'll make this change.
Okay.
And then we talked about doing this on a time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So a certain point in time we will do that.
Mm-hmm.
And make that change.
And one point that came up, our last question, but one point that came up was this idea that, once again, Maine lobstermen and women seem to set the standard in terms of sustainability practices. There are other lobster management areas that aren't even up to what Maine lobstermen and women do. So there's this thing of, okay, but before you give us new rules, let's bring everybody up to the same bar. Yeah.
So we have other areas, other lobster management areas that don't have a maximum gauge. We have areas like the gray zone where Canada and Maine fish together on the same piece of bottom, and we throw a product over that the Canadians are allowed to keep. So there's really some inequities there, and we're having discussions about trying to bring in product from Canada that Maine fishermen would then not be able to catch, and allow processors to process that product in Maine. That's a big inequity for fishermen.
And there seem to be a lot of inequities that I'm sure you all will be making the effort to address through the public comment period and then continuing on before the deadline, which is May. These rules, they're going to decide the rules in May.
And March 31st is the deadline for comments.
All right, well then get your comments in through multiple channels. Yes. And that's all for us. I'm Beth Jones. Virginia Olson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Back to you.
All right, and certainly a lot for Maine lobstermen and women to contend with. Beth, thank you for breaking that all down for us. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, Senator Susan Collins has sponsored a bill that would give test animals and federal research a second chance at life. We'll have details on that. And in sports, the Maine football team has taken their talents to the stands this basketball season. We'll have that story right after the break. Stay with us.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911.
and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
I really enjoy helping people and watching them grow. I joined Sweetser over 10 years ago as an independent affiliate and have helped countless clients reach their goals. Sweetser provides me an opportunity to help my clients without all the headaches like billing and referrals, things related to actually running a private practice. They take the administrative stress away so I can carry out my true passion. If you are a licensed social worker or therapist, Sweetser's affiliate network is for you.
Take your taste buds on a journey and experience the brand new international menu Tuesday through Thursday only at the Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub. Every Tuesday, enjoy their delicious French cuisine. On Wednesdays, enjoy their memorable Italian delicacies. And every Thursday, be ready for a fiesta with their Mexican favorites. A full 5-course dinner for just $29.95 per person. And don't forget about their all-you-can-eat seafood Fridays. The Lucerne Inn. Beautiful dining with a delicious view.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
And remember, no line safe to touch, ever.
For years I've warned you that no power lines were safe to touch ever. But the politicians behind Pine Tree Power weren't listening. They want a government takeover of our power grid. And with a cost of $13.5 billion, we're going to be on the hook for that. It could mean higher taxes or cuts to critical services we use every day. Pine Tree Power is a risk Mainers can't afford, ever.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. If you were at the pit for any of the Black Bears' most recent home games, you know there was something special going on up in the student section with the Maine football team showing out in droves to support their fellow Black Bears, making every home game something memorable.
When you bring 100 college men in the stand, they bring a different energy.
That element, that six-man element, there's no substitute for it.
In the fall, they make their presence felt in between the lines. But now, Maine football has brought their energy over to the pit as Black Bears Hoops #1 fans.
Since we're always on the field, being up there, it was kind of more hype because you really get into the game even though you're not playing. And it reminded me of this football season because it's the same atmosphere, the same energy, the grit.
It felt like we were playing in these games, and we enjoyed. We waited till 7 o'clock till those games could happen because they were just that much enjoyable and that much fun.
I think half the guys on the team legitimately couldn't speak the next morning, especially when we had the back-to-back with Bryant and Binghamton on back-to-back nights that Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, for the rest of the weekend, we're still recovering, honestly, right now.
And when they do converge on Memorial Gym, it turns into what some may call one of the best home court advantages America East has to offer, especially compared to some other schools.
One of the refs said this is the best atmosphere he's been to all year. They're incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the crowd at Albany this weekend, and compared to us, it was honestly pathetic. It made me sad to look and see that was a semifinal America East playoff game, and that's the crowd they had on hand, compared to the quarterfinal when we had this place packed. I mean, we were doing the wave.
On the surface, they may be there to cheer for Maine, but sometimes it gets a little deeper than that, and the competitive instincts just take over.
Obviously, we're going to support our team. Obviously, being loud is supportive enough for them, just causing that chaos. But when you get another player to react to your, whatever it be, chirps or chants or whatever, I think you won mentally.
That's kind of why we're there. We're trying to get into the other team's head so that, Maine can benefit. Once we see, them start chirping back at us, it kind of gets us fired up as well.
All in all, what they set out to do is support other Black Bear student athletes. It's safe to say they do a pretty darn good job at it.
I think we kind of realized how much of an impact we really do have and also how much they really appreciate it, which meant a lot to us.
I mean, it's just supporting our fellow athletes. I mean, they come to our games, we go to their games, just creating a relationship as a whole school throughout the sports department. I feel like that's special.
We can't thank them enough. I mean, their whole team, Coach Stevens and his staff, the support that we've gotten from them and everybody else in the athletic department has been tremendous.
Always good catching up with former sports intern Jack Webb. That's all the time we have for sports. Here is Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Our main weather is brought to you by C&K Variety. Stop by C&K Variety in Herman today for hand-tossed pizza, subs, salads, and more. C&K Variety, your local go-to convenience store. What a overcast day out there today. It was pretty mild once again. Our average should be in those mid to upper 30s, and once again we hit those lower 40s. We did have a couple of flurries early on, then some sprinkles, but no accumulations as temperatures are well above freezing. But not much going on in the Northeast. We do have lots of clear skies down south, Massachusetts into Connecticut. Same thing into upstate New York, just a few passing clouds, but no low pressure systems just yet. But just wait till I let you know what's coming in the next several days. So the next couple of days will be clear. We'll see good amount of sunshine, just a few passing clouds. Tomorrow we're clear into Saturday, same thing into Sunday. Just a few passing clouds like I mentioned, just ahead of another low that will be moving on in Monday night into Tuesday. Winds are starting to be more on the breezy end. Still not looking too bad. 12-mile-an-hour sustained winds here in town. Bar Harbor, 9 miles per hour. Machias, 12 miles an hour as well. So wind gusts closer to 20 to 25, so that's not a big issue for us today. Let's talk a little bit about temperatures. I know some of you folks are excited. We've had some 40s. It really felt like a taste of spring as that warmer air continues to make its way up north. No surprises here. New York City, D.C., we're back into the 50s once again. And that's pretty much going to be your jet stream the next week or so. It's pretty much going to be hovering just like that, where temperatures here in town are going to be slightly above average and then coming down to near average temperatures. So not much movement in our jet stream just yet. The last several days have been pretty mild. I know last couple of weeks have been a little bit on the cooler end. We had temperatures in the teens, then back in the 20s, a little bit of snow moved in. But really the last several days, I'd say maybe the last week has been really mild. Temperatures in the 30s, even some mid-40s outside, so it's been nice and pleasant. Our average should be around 38 degrees this time of year, so take a look at the next several days. Friday into Saturday, okay, we're in the 40s. Sunday, though, a nice, pleasant day. Temperatures in the mid-40s, good amount of sunshine, and then we slowly cool off. The jet stream starts to dip down slowly, and we're going to be in those mid to upper 30s with a little bit more snow moving on in. Tonight, though, another mildish night. Temperatures around 22 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Might be a pretty good night to go outside and see some stars if you'd like. Just bundle up out there. Tomorrow, another nice day. Good amount of sunshine. Temperatures around 41 degrees. A light breeze, so not much to talk about with the winds for tomorrow. Our extended forecast outlook does show 40s down the board. Wow. Into Monday. Then it gets a bit interesting. Monday night into Tuesday, we have another low pressure system moving on in. Might be mixing with a little bit of rain on Tuesday. So we'll see exactly how much snow we're going to get, but possibly a couple to even several inches are on the way.
Tonight's Stock Report is brought to you by Maine Valve, with more than 30 years of experience across the state of Maine, providing top quality real estate services.
Markdown Madness has started at the Furniture Gallery, and we're in the game to save you money. Introducing our starting lineup. 10% off all in-stock recliners for the best seat in the house. 10% off all adjustable bases to upgrade your sleep and be game day ready. And up to 70% off all clearance items. The Furniture Gallery brings you better brand names plus a bigger in-stock selection, all at the lowest prices around. Hurry in to catch all the action. Find your best value at the Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
Mossy Ledge Spirits is a true hidden gem in Etna. Located just 3 miles off I-95, exit 167, we are home to tastings, tours, cocktails, to-go drinks, bottles, live music, minis, and priceless memories. You're sure to fall in love with our handcrafted, unique, and deliciously clean-tasting spirits and feel right at home in our family-friendly environment. Mossy's Mobile Spirits is offering mobile bar service for weddings and large events. So enjoy some pizza and raise the glass here at Mossy Ledge Spirits.
Tonight, your job, credit card payments, the economy, what to prepare for, plus tracking 2 major winter storms and several feet of snow in the West. More Americans turn to the most watched program on all of television, World News Tonight with David Muir.
And before we leave you tonight, a thank you from everyone here at ABC 7. More local news to come tonight on Fox 22 News at 10. Take care and have a great night.